Hello there, this is Legacy School, Year 7 History, lesson number 2, the first part of the lesson. From the very beginning, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that you can help yourself in doing your homework by taking screenshots of these slides, so you can find the answers at the end of this lesson. You will get some questions concerning information on these slides. So today we're going to revise some concepts that you took in year 6. We will be talking about Germany before the war and the unification of Germany. Now, you know that Germany was united in 1871. Before that, Germany had been made up of several independent states, and the most important state was Prussia. I will show you a map shortly. The new country, called the German Empire, was ruled by the Kaiser, or the Emperor, in German. The Emperor had complete control over the appointment of the Chancellor, right, the chief minister of Germany, and he had power over policies and appointments and was answerable only to the Kaiser. So two very important people, the Kaiser and the Chancellor. And there was a parliament in German. It's called the Reichstag, but it had limited power and could be ignored by the Chancellor. So you can see that the Chancellor in the newly unified Germany, the Chancellor was the most important person. Now let's take a look at the map. You can see the green part is the Kingdom of Prussia, the biggest, the largest, and also the richest and most powerful kingdom. Now you can see some other territories. Okay, you can see the names on the yellow, shown in yellow, Lauenburg. Okay, then you can see Bavaria in the south, Lorraine, Württemberg, and so on. These are separate kingdoms with their own kings, but very little power. Obviously, even after unification, these kings stayed kings of their states, but they had literally no power at all. Now, Germany before the war was ruled by very powerful chancellors, and one of the most powerful chancellor was Otto von Bismarck. Now, Otto von Bismarck was the chancellor in the 1870s and the 80s. Now, in practice, he had actually more power than Kaiser Wilhelm I. Now, he was very, very famous for helping to unify the country. He introduced a national coinage, so money coins were introduced nationwide, all over unified Germany. He created a postal service and a legal system. He built a railway network, and he strengthened the army. Now, there comes Wilhelm II. Right? He was the son of Wilhelm I, and he became emperor in 1888 at the age of 31. He was very young, energetic, and very ambitious. He wanted to control German affairs himself rather than the chancellor. So he started to disregard Otto von Bismarck. First and foremost, he wanted to improve Germany's international position. He wanted Germany to be a superpower. He wanted Germany to build an overseas empire in Africa and the Far East. He was looking at Britain and France, and he was very envious of what they have. They are colonial powers, and Germany has nothing. And to achieve his colonial ambitions, he felt that Germany needed to build a strong navy. Now let's take a look at the German Empire. Okay, after unification, the green shows the German Empire surrounded by other states, the very, very huge and also powerful Russian Empire and the Austro-Hungarian Empire in the south, and then some independent states like Switzerland, France, which is already a huge colonial power, the Netherlands and Belgium from the West. Now, the growth of parliamentary government, and we understood earlier, we said that the most important person was the chancellor. And although there was a parliament, which was the Reichstag, we said earlier that towards the end of the 19th century, the parliament didn't really have actual power. The chancellor could ignore the parliament. It didn't matter what the parliament said. Now, the Kaiser, we said it earlier that the Kaiser dominated decision making, but at the same time, political parties developed in terms of organization and importance. Going towards the end of the century, political parties have become more and more active. Now, there were right-wing and left-wing political parties. The right-wing political parties represented the conservatives, okay? The conservatives that supported traditional values, the rights of landowners, and of course the expansion of the German Empire. Now, the left-wing political parties were the laborers, the workers. Okay? These were more concerned with the rights of workers, and they, of course, gained support from the expanding numbers working in German industries. By the end of the 19th century, Germany's industry had a huge boom. Industrialization and its consequences. Now, Germany witnessed an increased production of steel and shipbuilding. It produced 1/3 of the world's electrical goods. Okay, it was leading in the chemical industry as well. Now, in 1914, it's very interesting that the German companies Bosch and Siemens were known worldwide. Okay, 100 years ago. Now, due to this industrialization, the numbers of factory workers rose, and this was a threat to the traditional structure of society, which was based on landowning aristocracy. Okay, they were the powerful, the rich people. The working class and the socialist movement was getting stronger, and workers demanded social reforms. Now, German governments introduced old age pensions, sickness and accident insurance before any other country in Europe. So it was a very good thing to live in Germany at the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. Now, another very important thing before the war, Germany passes several naval laws. Navy is the power, the sea power of a country, so all the ships include the navy. Warships. By 1914, several so-called naval laws were passed by the Reichstag, increasing the size of the German navy. Germany wanted to become a naval power. They looked upon the British. They wanted to compete with the British Navy. Now, many Germans believed that Britain had ambitions to become even more powerful, okay, and that its policy would deny German colonial ambitions. Germany was afraid that by the time Germany becomes powerful enough, there won't be any land to colonize. So the Anglo-German arms race began. At the same time, it was a period of optimism because Germans believed that our country is really strong, powerful. Okay, we are going to be leading power, a superpower. So this is the end of part 1. Please continue with the other one. Thank you for your attention.